boys and girls. Well, welcome to our math lesson 9.2, and I hope that you have your papers out for lesson 9.2. Today, we're going to talk about centimeters again like we did with 9.1, and I just want to remind you that this is a centimeter ruler, and you can see the centimeters are the numbers that are closer together, and the inches are farther apart. So we want to use this side. And today's lesson is going to be about estimating centimeters and how long things are. Because it's one thing to know how to measure with a centimeter, but it's another thing if you can kind of guess how long something is. So I know that my finger is about 1 centimeter wide. And when we did inches, our fingers are about 2 centimeters. So if you know that a finger is about 1 centimeter, then you can kind of guess that 2 fingers is about 2 centimeters, 3 fingers is about 3 centimeters. And so today we're kind of going to be concentrating on that right there, the 10 centimeters. So for 10 centimeters, it's about that long. So if you have your ruler, I want you to look at the 10 centimeters and see how long it is. So if I take it away, it's like my hand's like this, 10 centimeters. So that would almost be like 10 little fingers all lined up. Okay, so think about that because we aren't really going to be using our rulers to measure things. We're going to be estimating. And estimating, remember, is a good guess. So first, we're going to watch Jesse Bear and see what he does about estimating lengths.
How do you use known lengths to estimate unknown lengths?
Hi, friends! Today I'm studying the things next to this log. I found a leaf and a rock. I know that the leaf is about 8 centimeters long. I want to know the length of the rock. Do you think knowing the length of the leaf can help me find the length of the rock? Let's find out.
Let's measure a paper strip to make it 10 centimeters long. Then let's use this 10 centimeter strip to find estimates for the lengths of some objects. The length of this crayon is very close to the length of the strip. Let's check. The crayon is shorter than 10 centimeters because it is shorter than the strip. So about how many centimeters long is it? That's right, it's about 9 centimeters long. Now let's find an estimate for the length of this paper clip by using the 10 centimeter strip. The paper clip is a lot shorter than the 10 centimeter strip. About how many centimeters long is the paper clip? It looks like it's about 4 centimeters long. Now let's find an estimate for the length of this rope by using the strip. The rope is a little shorter than the 10 centimeter strip. What could be an estimate of its length? The rope is about 8 centimeters. The pencil is about 9 centimeters long. This ribbon is longer than the pencil, but not twice as long. Which is the most reasonable estimate for the length of the ribbon? That's right, the ribbon is about 12 centimeters long. Now let's practice with the personal math trainer. Now try your homework on your own.
Thanks for helping me figure out the length of the rock. See you soon.
Okay, so Jessie Bear's video was all about estimating how long something is in relationship to about 10 centimeters. And in our very first lesson, our 9.1, if we were in class, we would have made a 10 centimeter strip. But if you haven't made a 10 centimeter strip, you can just use your ruler to have 10 centimeters. And we want to look at our essential question. And it says, how do you use known lengths to estimate unknown lengths? That means if you know the length of something, you can compare it to something else. So if you know something is just 5 centimeters, but you see something that's this long, well, you know that that's like 2 5s, and we know our doubles facts, and 5 plus 5 is 10, so we know that would be about 10. So what we're going to do is it says find 3 classroom objects that are shorter than your 10 centimeter strip. Draw the objects and write estimates for their lengths. So since you may not be in the classroom right now, what you want to do is find 3 things. So I looked around the house and I found 3 things. I found a glue stick. So most of us have something that's like a glue stick. And I remember that 10 centimeters to me was about that long. And so I know that the glue stick is shorter than 10 centimeters, has to be shorter. And I found a crayon that looked to be shorter than 10 centimeters. And I found a little charger. So, and I know that's, if I just measure the white part, I know that that's shorter than 10 centimeters. So, so if I have 10 centimeters right about here, I'm gonna start, I think, with the longest, and I think that would be my crayon. So it's not quite 10, so I'm gonna guess it's probably around 8 centimeters. So I'm gonna draw the crayon first. So, and if you have a crayon or whatever you have, you could draw it. So, oops, my little pen may not draw very well. Okay, so I'll pick my pen and see if I can draw a crayon. Nope, still won't let me. Okay. Okay, here's my crayon, and it's a new crayon. Okay, so not a very good drawing on the computer. Hopefully on your paper, your drawing is a little bit better. So I'm gonna say that is about 8 centimeters. And that's a good place to start, because now I'm not going to look at my centimeter ruler, but I'm going to look at the crayon, and then I'm going to look at my glue stick. Now it's shorter, but it's not very much, not much shorter. So what would you say, about 7 maybe? Okay, so, and we don't have to be, when you are estimating a length, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be exact. So I'm going to try to make this one a little shorter than the 8 centimeters. So there's my glue stick. And that one is about 7 centimeters. And then, okay, so I don't have my ruler, I'm just estimating, good guess. So if this is 8 and the glue stick is shorter at 7, and this little charging cube is even shorter. So if this is 7, and then I hold the little charging cube up to that, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3. I'm just gonna say 3. And later on, if I want to check, I could hold those objects up to my centimeter ruler and find out how close I was on my guess, because it's always fun to guess and then see how close you are. Have a contest with someone in your family. So, okay, so I said 3. Okay, let's put a little 3 here. Okay, so those are my guesses. Now I could take my centimeter ruler and we could check them out. Let's see here. This is about, starting right there. Hey, that one is just about 3. And the glue stick, that one, oh, we were a little off. That one was 8, and I put 7, but that was a good guess. And then the crayon is about, oh, the crayon is about 9. So I was 1 centimeter off, and centimeters are so small that we're not really going to worry about that. So on our next page, okay, it says, let's take a look at the pencil. This pencil is about 10 centimeters long, and that's the length that we're kind of dealing with today, 10 centimeters. Now, which is a most reasonable? So there's a very important word in math, and actually in life, is reasonable. Reasonable means makes sense. So which is the most reasonable estimate for the length of this ribbon? So we want to guess how long, or estimate how long this ribbon is. The pencil is 10, so how long is the ribbon? We can choose 7 centimeters, 13 centimeters, or 20 centimeters. And on the clouds, it tells us the ribbon is longer than the pencil. That's true. It's very important to be able to tell what's longer and what's shorter. So if the pencil is 10 and the ribbon is longer, 7 centimeters is not reasonable, because we know that the pencil is 10. So we know it's not going to be 7. And the ribbon is not twice as long as the pencil, which is 20 centimeters, because if this is 10, then we add another 10, the ribbon would be about out to here. So we know that 20 is not the answer. So the ribbon is a little longer than the pencil. So 13 centimeters is the most reasonable estimate. So sometimes you just have to kind of look at things and think to yourself, well, here's where the pencil ends. This is 10. So I know that right here is 10. Now, this section right here does not look like another 10, because this section here is 10. This looks like it might be 3 or 4. So this section here is about 3. Okay, and then as we get down to the bottom, the yarn, let's look at this little piece of yarn here. It's about 5 centimeters long. This yarn, it starts here and it ends here. So what is the best estimate for the length of the orange crayon? So 10 centimeters, that would mean 5 here and another 5 here. Do you think that makes sense? How about 15? That would mean 5 here and 10 here. That would be too long. And how about 20? Oh my goodness, 20 would be all the way out here. So 5, and that looks like another 5. And we know that 5 plus 5 is what? Yes, 10 centimeters. Okay, now let's look at the string. This string is about 12 centimeters long from here to here. And we're going to circle the best estimate for the length of the straw. So here's the straw. The straw goes to here on the string. So if this whole string is 12, do you think the straw is only 3? Or do you think the straw is 7? Or do you think the straw is 11? Well, 11 would be about here. 7 might be there, but 3 would be way down here. So if you chose 7, you are correct. It is 7 centimeters. Okay, we're ready for the next page already. Okay, this one says on your own. So if you want to pause the video right now before we go through the answers. You can try to find the answers on your own, and then we'll take a look. So what you want to do is read each problem and see if you can do it on your own. And then we'll come back and do the answers together. So go ahead and pause. Okay, now if you've paused, even if you haven't paused, here we go. Okay, number 3. The rope is about 8 centimeters long. So circle the best estimate. So the best estimate for the paper clip. So if the rope is 8 centimeters total, here's the paper clip. So if this is 8, where about do you think the paper clip comes in? To me, it looks like it's about half. So if you know what half of 8 is, well, here's 8. So half of 8 is probably not 2. Half of 8 is 4. And definitely the paper clip is not 8 centimeters long because it would be the same length as the rope. So we're going to choose 4 centimeters. If that's what you chose, you got it right. Okay, now the pencil. This pencil is about 11 centimeters long. What is the best estimate for the chain? Okay, now look at the chain. Is the chain longer or shorter than the pencil? That's right, it is longer. So that means it's going to be longer than 11. Is 6 longer than 11? No. Is 10 longer than 11? No, it's shorter. So the only answer it could be is 13, because that is longer than the 11 centimeter pencil. Now, this hair clip is about 7 centimeters long, and we're going to circle the best estimate for this yellow piece of yarn. So is this yarn longer or shorter than the ribbon? Yes, it is longer than the ribbon. So it's going to be longer than 7 centimeters. So do you think it is 10 centimeters or 17 centimeters or 22 centimeters? Okay, so 10, so think about that for just a second. Okay, so 10 centimeters might be pretty reasonable because this would mark 7, and then add a few more. 3 plus 7 would equal 10. Now 17, it would be 10 more centimeters would be about out here. So I don't think 17, and 22 would be way too long. So if you chose 10, that would be correct. And moving down to this ribbon is about 13 centimeters long. Now I write the length of the objects above them just to help me remember how long that object is. That's 13 centimeters. And this green yarn below, or the string, is it longer or shorter than the blue ribbon? Yes, it is shorter. So we want a number that is less than 13. Now 5 centimeters is less than 13, but 5 centimeters I think is shorter than this ribbon. Now 11 centimeters is almost 13, and actually you can see that the green string is way down almost at the end. It's almost the same length as the ribbon. And 17 centimeters is more than 13, so it can't be 17. And I don't think it's 5, so I think 11 is about the right one, because 13 minus 2, and that would be about 2 centimeters, would equal the 11 centimeter string. Okay, so I hope you guys did good on your estimating. Moving on to the next page, we have math on the spot. And for each question, we are going to circle the best estimate. So about how long is a new crayon, and about how long is a new pencil. So, so we're going to move to the to our Math on the Spot and see what they say.
Oh, hi, guys. You just joined us in the middle of the game. When the music stops, whoever has the package gets to open it.
Yeah. Oh, the music stopped.
That means I win. Oh, boy. I wonder what's inside.
What's in there?
It's a math puzzle.
Oh, goody. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Let's put it over here.
Math puzzles.
Here is a new crayon. We want to find out about how long this is. Is the crayon about 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters, or 20 centimeters long? Well, one way we can estimate the length is to compare the crayon to the length of something that we know.
Yeah.
Now, here is a paper strip. And that paper strip is something that we've measured before. It is about 10 centimeters long.
Okay.
Okay, so let's compare this to the crayon. I'm going to line up the left sides here. You can see, yeah, it is about 10 centimeters long.
It sure is.
So I'm just going to say pretty confidently that the crayon is about 10 centimeters long. But let's also talk about these other options and try to see why it can't be 5 centimeters or 20 centimeters.
Good idea.
Okay, so let's see. If it were 5 centimeters long, that is, if the crayon were about 5 centimeters long, it would be about half the size of the paper strip.
5 is half of 10.
Yes, we know that because 5 plus 5 is 10.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right, that can't be because,
No, it's
look,
too short.
that would have been too short, right?
Yeah,
Half of the strip would be
yeah.
way too short. Okay. Now, how long would 20 centimeters be? Well, if one paper strip is 10 centimeters long...
It would be another one?
Yes, exactly right. If we pulled on another paper strip, you can see that would be 10 plus 10 approximately, about, and we get 20 centimeters.
Oh, that's too long, right?
That'd be way too long. Yeah, visually we can see it is too long. So yes, it is about 10 centimeters.
Yeah. Oh, can we measure something else?
Okay, let's look at a pencil. Now here is a new pencil.
Oh, shiny.
We want to find out about how long it is. Is the pencil about 20 centimeters, 40 centimeters, or 50 centimeters?
What do you think?
I don't know. Let's use our paper strip again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that the paper strip is about 10 centimeters. Ooh, looks like
Oh, that's too short.
that's too short. One strip is too short. So how about we pull on another paper strip?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's looking good.
Yes, it's not exactly 2 paper strip lengths, but it is close to 2 paper strip lengths. Now,
Yeah.
how much is 2 paper strips? How long is that? It's
well,
about...
one is 10 centimeters, so another one would be 20?
That's right,
Is that
because
right? Yeah.
yes, because 10 plus 10 is 20. So yes, are you confident that we can circle this right here? The pencil is
Yeah,
about
go
20
for it,
centimeters.
yeah.
But let's just double check because the other options might be closer. Let me see. Let's see. It says 40 centimeters. Now, how many paper strips would I have to pull on to show 40 centimeters?
Well, that would be 4.
Yeah, 4 strips, right?
That'd be a long pencil.
That's right. 10 plus 10 plus another 10 plus another 10. That would be 40 centimeters. That's too long.
Yeah.
So now what about, so we can just cross that out. That can't
Okay.
be. What about 50 centimeters?
Well, now you're just being silly. That would
right.
be really long.
That's right. That would be even longer than the 40 centimeters. So no, 50 centimeters can't be a possibility. So yes, given these choices, I would definitely say that this pencil is about 20 centimeters long.
You could do a lot of math with a 50-centimeter long pencil.
That's true, we could. We might hurt somebody if we were using it, though.
Oh, hey, can we play another game?
Oh, sure, that'd be fun.
Help me with this.
yes, I see it.
I wrapped this this earlier.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You used
yeah.
a lot of tape on this one. There's the music. Have fun with math, everyone.
Oh, mine, yours. Mine, yours.
Okay, so I think Jeannie and Professor Rena did a great job of showing how you can sort of estimate the length of objects by using that little 10 centimeter strip. And you have your little 10 centimeter strip. It's about that long. So about how long is the new crayon? Do you remember? Is it about that long? And I have a new crayon, and it is just about 10 centimeters because 5 would be too short and 20 would be all the way out here. That would be a long crayon. It would break pretty easily. So we're going to circle 10 centimeters. Woo. There we go. And about how long is a new pencil? Do you remember what they said about a new pencil? This one isn't really new. Oh, here's a nice new pencil. This pencil is new, and it's a lot longer than the crayon that was about almost 10 centimeters. So remember what 10 plus 10 is? Yes, it is about 20. 40 centimeters or 50 centimeters would be way too big. And now moving down to our last problem of the day. Mr. Lott, well, we have two problems. Mr. Lott has 250 more centimeters of tape than Mr. Sanchez. So Mr. Lott has a lot. He has more. Now, Mr. Lott has 775 centimeters of tape. And how many centimeters of tape does Mr. Sanchez have? Now, if Mr. Sanchez has less and Mr. Lott has more, that means that Mr. Sanchez is going to have less than 775. And how much less than 775? Well, let's look at what we have. What we need to find out, first of all, is how many centimeters of tape does Mr. Sanchez have? And we're not given that amount. What we are given is that Mr. Lott has 775, and that is 250 more than Mr. Sanchez. So it actually becomes, do you think it becomes an addition or a subtraction? Now, if you said subtraction, you are right. So to find out, we have to write it out here, 775 minus 250. So minus 250. So do your best to write that out. Remember, when you start getting into third grade, you have to start writing a lot of your own problems, and we really want to make sure that we line up the ones, the tenths, and the hundreds. And lucky for us this time, it doesn't look like we're going to have to regroup because all the bottom numbers are smaller than the top numbers. So 5 minus 0, you are right, it is 5. 7 minus 5, it is 2. And 7 minus 2, and that is 5. Okay, so 525 is what Mrs. Sorry, that's Mrs. Sanchez. Oof. Mrs. Sanchez, because it has an S, M-R-S. Mrs. Sanchez has 525 centimeters of tape. And that would make sense that Mr. Lott has 250 more centimeters of tape than Mrs. Sanchez, because 525 plus 250 equals 775, and that is one way that we check our addition. So let's go down to the feather. Now, this feather is about 7 centimeters long, so I can put a 7. Rachel says the yarn is about 14 centimeters long. So from here to here, about 14. Is Rachel correct that this yarn is about 14 centimeters? Well, let's draw. Okay, the feather ends there. If the feather is 7, this length of yarn is 7. And this length of yarn looks to be about 7. Pretty close. They look about the same. And we know what 7 plus 7 is, 14. So would we say Rachel is correct or not correct? If you said she is correct, you're right. Rachel is correct. So what we want to type is that Rachel is correct. And we're going to use the term half because that is a fraction term, but we're getting ready to talk about fractions. And I think you guys already understand some of the basic fractions. So Rachel is correct. And I'm going to get rid of that period. I'm going to put because. We always want to know why, and because tells us. Rachel is correct because the feather is about half the length of the yarn. Okay, that's a quick answer and a good answer for us. Okay, so good luck with doing some more estimating. I hope you can go around your house and sort of estimate how many centimeters things are in your house so that you can get a little more used to measuring with centimeters. And we'll see you tomorrow for our next lesson, 9.3, where we will be using our centimeter ruler. Okay, you guys, I hope you have fun with math. See you at our next lesson.